Control Deck Team, redesigning the cockpit user experience. Anna Ferrier, Elena Ho, Amy Hong, Michael Manella, and Sandra Yoon. The Control Deck's focus centers around finding an alternative to the cockpit interface currently used for commercial airliners. Our overall goal is to translate what currently exists into something more suitable and user-friendly for the pilots through a digital means. The current airline cockpit is complicated, disorganized, and non-uniform. Our solution is to simplify, centralize, and customize. The control deck is a part of a larger interaction between three groups: the ID system, the multi-layer display, and the control deck. The ID system brings in personal settings for each pilot, which are applied to the control deck system. From these control decks, the pilots can manage and adjust the multi-layer display, which is a larger shared screen between the two pilots. Each control deck consists of a touchscreen and a physical keyboard. They both communicate with the multi-layer display. The control deck touchscreen is broken down into three sections: the app dock, the dashboard, and the MLD control panel. The app dock is an interpretation of Apple's application dock. Each icon represents a different set of instruments from the current cockpit. The dashboard is a workspace where the control instruments reside when opened from the app dock. The MLD control panel is where each pilot can interact with the multi-layer display. Lastly, each touchscreen is tied to a standard QWERTY keyboard, with additional keys representational of select app dock icons, such as Chat, Quick View, Preferences, and Home. The following slides will present several user scenarios. 1. Manage apps. 2. Quick views. 3. Checklists. 4. Chat.
First, we will explain how to manage the apps. Apps are located to the left of the screen. The app window will pop up on the dashboard. The multi-layer display control panel will also appear on the right. User can adjust app sizes and scroll up and down to find the app they want. User can control the multi-layer display screen by the control panel. When the user clicks the Share button on the control panel, then the app will be shared on the multi-layer display screen. The user can also adjust the screen size and the opacity on the multi-layer display screen. Also, the user can adjust the screen position and size. The search bar is on the bottom and can be used to find any aircraft information the user needs. The arrangement of the apps on the dashboard can be saved into your preferences by pressing the Save Configuration button.
The second user scenario is the Quick Views. Press the Quick View key on the keyboard. The special keys are found on the bottom left-hand corner of the keyboard. It instantly opens up several apps that are running on the screen. Apps, arrangement, and display styles can all be customized in the preferences. ID system can save these settings. The third scenario is the checklist apps. The apps can guide to step-by-step processes such as the pre-flight, takeoff, landing, and taxi. Click on the triangle shape on the dock to bring up the pre-flight checklist. The guided steps of the pre-flight app window will show up and the pilot can check to see if everything is ready to go. The green light means it's ready and there is no problem to it. The yellow light means warning, which means you should be careful and double check to see if it's alright. The red light means it's a no-go, which means something is not right and you should see to it right away. Once the pilot feels that everything is ready, he can check the boxes to the green light. The next button will show up once everything is green and ready. The system can provide real-time feedback on instruments and help troubleshoot any problems.
User scenarios, chat. We're going to speak about the chat system. The user here is selecting the chat icon on the dock, but he can also press the chat button on the keyboard, which has a similar icon. Then the chat window appears on the desktop with 3 different choices: Pilot, Copilot, Aircraft. Here you can see a zoom in on the different categories. In this case, the pilot is choosing the Copilot category, so the second window appears where he can converse with the copilot. If you select Aircraft, a window appears with the different choices of aircraft. You just have to select the one you want, and the chat window appears. The chat system is an easier way of communication if it is too noisy or even to exchange data. It will allow for greater efficiency and multitasking.
The following 3 slides are preliminary design examples for the touchscreen interface of the control deck system. They represent what is possible through effective information graphics, the communicative efficiency of icons, color, and typography. In the first slide, we see the dock filled with icons representing different instruments. Several app windows are open and arranged on the dashboard. On the right-hand side of the screen, in the multi-layer display control panel, we can quickly distinguish which of the open apps are shared by the green or red circle located to the left of the app's title. The second slide reveals the feedback that occurs when the pilot has selected an item in the multi-layer display control panel. In this case, the pilot has chosen Application 5 to adjust. Finally, in the third slide, the pilot has chosen to affect the size of Application 5 on the multi-layer display. The pilot may simply drag the meter to the desired size or enter a percentage value on the keyboard. Opacity for shared apps on the multi-layer display can be adjusted in the same way. Solution overview. Our team aspired to imagine and design a new system of interaction for commercial aircraft pilots. Our solution consolidated all of the controls of the current cockpit into a single interface. The new system is not only concise and unified, it is also customizable, further improving its usability for each pilot. Because the new control deck only requires 2 physical components for each pilot, the cockpit can become less cluttered, and thus more spacious and comfortable for the pilots. Currently, pilots are trained to navigate either the right or left-hand side of the aircraft. The new control deck, symmetrical and customizable, can reduce training costs by eliminating the need for aircraft handedness. Finally, the digital system can be constantly augmented and updated. This offers the unique opportunity to create apps for entertainment, training updates, tutorials, and more. Conclusion. Further consideration should be given to how the new system is backed up. Because the controls are all encapsulated into one screen, failure of these devices must be prevented. The importance of ergonomic shape and other tactile experiences in the cockpit must be carefully designed, from the keyboard to the size and positioning of the touchscreen inside the cockpit. Finally, the entire system, the control deck, multi-layer display, and ID system, will introduce an abundance of new data. Handling this information will become another aspect of the cockpit to manage.